Stricklen with GeekWire Studios here at AWS reInvent 2025, and we are here to talk about transforming workflows for SRE teams. And no one better to talk to about that than this gentleman right here. I'm joined now by Vinod Jayaraman, the co-founder of NeuBird AI. Thank you so much, Vinod, for making the time today.
Hi, Steph. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
A couple things I want to talk to you about, but just set the stage first. What is NeuBird AI?
Excellent question. NeuBird AI, we are building an AI SRE, and an SRE is a site reliability engineer. Our product is called Hawkeye, and we autonomously resolve incidents that may occur in your deployments.
So Hawkeye is interesting, and the name is so well chosen because of what Hawkeye does, which is look across the entire architecture, right? And can really be quite a powerful tool. And in fact, I was watching a video where someone was learning about Hawkeye by asking Hawkeye itself. Now, let's tell me a little bit more about what problems Hawkeye can solve in the real world. Walk me through some of those.
So Hawkeye overlays on top of your existing telemetry, and that may be your logs, metrics, alerts, traces. We also interact with your incident management system and your code bases. And together, we do not ingest any data, but we are correlating telemetry data across all of these sources. And when an incident arrives, when something happens like maybe a high CPU consumption, then at that point in time, we surgically extract relevant information across your data sources, across your telemetry sources, and produce an RCA, a root cause analysis as to what happened, why it happened, how to correct it, and once you produce an RCA, you can further interact with Hawkeye, ask it further questions like you just said.
What we're talking about is incredibly sophisticated pattern watching, and right now we're hearing all over AWS reInvent about the power of Agentic AI. In this situation, when you're communicating with your customers, how do you help them understand what Hawkeye can do? It seems to me that this is an additional member of an already existing engineering team that can be brought in and perhaps automate some processes. How would you describe this to your customers?
That's a very good way of putting it. The observability systems today, they do a fantastic job in gathering all the telemetry that is essential. But in order to analyze an incident, you still need an engineer to connect all the dots together. And that is where Hawkeye sits, alongside the engineers, observing the data that has been collected in your CloudWatch, in your Datadogs of the world, and providing a root cause analysis as to what happened.
I sort of tap danced around it, but even more specifically, how do you build trust within these architectures? If you really think about it, it is the thing that over and over again people are talking about. We might refer to it through the lens of governance or a number of other ways, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to trust. Where does Hawkeye and NeuBird fit into that?
We build this ground up with trust and security being forefront in our minds. In order to analyze an incident, there are really three steps. First is, you've got a sea of telemetry data. First is, where do you go look? And then the next question is, what do you look at? And lastly is, how to do that. So we use the LLMs as the brain, but we never send any of the customer's telemetry data to the LLM. And the customer's telemetry data stays in their private network. So that has got another interesting consequence, which is that the analysis that is provided comes directly from the telemetry. It does not come from the LLM. So there is no opportunity for any kind of a hallucination. We also provide extensive explainability as to why did we go where we did, and what did we look at, and how did we do it, and all of this information is available as a graph to the end customer if they so choose to. We use it internally to generate confidence scores on how good our RCAs are.
You're using your own tool internally?
Exactly.
I love that.
Hawkeye is 100% used by all our team members. And the reason is, usually when you build products, you always build some way of dogfooding your product. It just happened organically. There was no real effort to build a dog food system, but people just started using Hawkeye in their day-to-day lives, and just for debugging their own problems, their own deployments, their own code.
The proof is in the pudding when your own employees are using it. I love that. Vinod, what gets you excited to come to work every day?
Oh my God, there is like, it's just mind-boggling as to the speed at which all of this is going at this breakneck speed. It's really the amount of new stuff that happens every day. The amount that I have learned in the past few years, it is just incredible. I've been in this industry for a very long time, and I have spent countless hours staying up till 2 a.m. debugging problems and getting systems back to life. And the pace at which this entire domain is moving is really very, very exciting. Yeah.
Vinod, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
I'm Steph Stricklen. You're watching GeekWire Studios.